Ephraim is.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of this Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. Oh, we ain't got no comments going on in here, or am I? What's going on? Everybody out where y'all at? Y'all out there storming? Ain't nobody out there doing nothing. But Tobias Harris said, "Tim, keep my name out." Oh wait. Before we get into this, hold on. I gotta check something. I want to know who this person is that I hate Tobias Harris on X. Me and him was going back and forth, and then he posted a little picture of male genitalia with the author. Bro, it was a whole violation. I blocked the ball. Listen, you will not get, and I listen, I don't mind going back and forth. We could go back and forth and do all that debate and everything else. But if you post any kind of lewd sexual crap up on there, nah, I'm pausing you, putting you on timeout, and blocking you. So yeah, it was definitely a violation. I'm saying that joint burnt my eye, burnt my cornea. Like I'm upset I even saw that. But back to the game, Tobias. But see, listen, I understand why people have a frustration with Tobias Harris, because you see a game like this, and they're too few and far between. They said Maxey said after the first quarter they asked him about Tobias, and he said Tobias said something about he didn't like how aggressive he came out last time. He gonna come out and play aggressive. And lo and behold, when he come out and he play aggressive, he had some, some solid play. But this is the kind of play that the Sixers was expecting that they would get from you when they paid you that big contract. This was the kind of play that you was doing in LA before you got traded to the Sixers. So what's the problem? He came out playing defense early and everything else. Maxey had an off night, but Maxey drew attention. They was throwing double teams at Maxey from the jump. But the Sixers, it was a good team win. And Tim, let me ask you this. Are you happy now? You said you need to get a win without Embiid. Are you happy? Oh, here you go. I hate Tobias Harris. Lucky game. Hey, listen, bro, that's a violation. That meme is a violation. That meme was a violation. I'm tempted to boot you out right now, but I appreciate my fans. You can't do that meme no more, bro. That joke was a violation.
Here's what I will say. Tobias had a very, very good game. There's no hate, no shade. He did what he was supposed to do, and he did it very well. I was hoping he was going to get his 40. I wanted him to get that 40.
No, you didn't, because you would have called him selfish.
You
would have called him selfish.
I wanted him to get it. He felt good about himself. He did very well. So no shade at Tobias, but we want to keep it real. I appreciate what Nick Nurse did. They kept finding a matchup. He kept being on De'Aaron Fox. That was like a total mismatch the entire day. He was able to rotate. They always rotated, and next thing you know, 6'2", De'Aaron Fox was on 6'7", 6'8", Tobias Harris, and he used them every single time. It was a very good game plan. If that was the plan going in, it was very successful. Bravo to Tobias. He did what he's supposed to do.
I agree.
But we do
right, listen, I hate Tobias Harris. You're forgiven. But don't ever post no crap like that. don't ever post no crap like that again. At least not with my name tag to it. But no, I agree with you though, Tim. That's what I'm saying. I understand the grief that people give Tobias. And that's why I always say, because he gets paid that big money. Because he's getting paid that big money, you expect games like this from time to time from him. But he does not do that. So I do understand that. But that being said, this is what I'm saying. I don't think that Tobias Harris is straight garbage, because I've seen games where he does things similar to this. In the Atlanta series, he had a couple games like that, but then he had a bad game. But he's not going to be your main player here. I expect him. I expect that what Tobias Harris brings, I'm okay for my third or fourth player. If you have stars like Joel Embiid playing the way that he plays and Maxey how he plays, if we got them, I'm okay with Tobias playing like that. But I would feel even better if we went out and made a move and Tobias was our fourth option because
Or
he was his best. Go ahead.
I think we showcased it, Tobias, to the league. So now his draft cap, for us, to me, it seems like now people are like, oh, yo, we got to get that boy. They're going to be all hyped to get Tobias Harris, and then we can be able to get some true value for him on the trade. So I think what he did tonight was actually a good thing for us.
But see all right. So
Showcase
okay.
me.
I'm fine. I'm fine if we have to trade Tobias Harris. But if you're telling me I could put a trade package together where I'm trading players like Markieff Morris, because it's all about the expiring contracts. So if you tell me I could trade like Markieff Morris and some of these other dudes with expiring contract, or we got Marcus, right? Marcus Morris and some of these dudes with expiring contracts, and keep it Tobias Harris to be my fourth best player, I'm fine with doing that. That's all I'm saying with that. Now, if I have to trade him to bring in more talent, better talent, I'm not opposed to that. But I'm more of a proponent of keeping the best talent that we do have and adding to that. And we can say what we want. Tobias Harris is the third or fourth best player on the team.
But teams may not necessarily want Marcus Morris. They may want Tobias Harris because he may be more of a valuable piece for that team.
Honestly, no. This is why I say that. If you're in that position where you're trading, like say if Toronto wants to trade Siakam, they're not looking at bringing a player in that they're going to build around. They're looking to bring in an expiring contract because they're rebuilding.
But both of them are expiring contracts. Both Tobias,
right. So it doesn't matter. You're saying that they might want to bring Tobias in because they feel like he could be a player on their team. They're not bringing somebody in to be a player on their team. They're bringing somebody in so that they can get rid of that contract at the end of the year.
But they already Siakam's contract is over at the end of the year. That it don't matter. If they decide to trade Siakam for an expiring contract, they want draft picks involved, or they want a player, or they may want a player.
They don't want a player. They're not going to want a player. No, they don't. They're going to want draft picks, and they're going to want that free agency money. They're going to want draft picks. Because they're not looking for a player. You think a player, if they think Tobias is that good, you think Tobias is going to come there and re-sign there?
Why not? If they give him the right money.
It's Toronto. Don't nobody go to Toronto.
For the amount,
and I'm sure they're not going to overpay him like that.
They might pay him more than what he may get on the open market.
Hey, Gold Ray, that's how listen. I understand when people have a feeling, and like I said, I felt the same way about Ben Simmons before the whole collapse. He's not straight garbage. You can use that player. Is he what you expected him to be when you paid him the money? No, but he's not straight garbage. And if you have him on your team, if I got to move him to bring in a very good fit for the team, I'm fine with it. But I feel like you don't necessarily have to move him to make an upgrade to the team. And I'd rather if I have a choice in having Tobias Harris or having Marcus Morris and Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba played nice tonight, but if I have a choice of trading some players that's not even getting minutes on my team and keeping Tobias Harris and adding another quality player that whereas though you don't even need as much from Tobias, that's my move I want to make.
But you may end up depleting your bench completely trying to get that salary that Tobias get with one player. And that might hurt us in the long run.
So how much? So you talking about completely?
It may take 4 players. Like we might have to get rid of Batum, Marcus Morris, 2 other players just so that
to make salaries match up.
Yeah. Whereas you could just get Tobias out of here, and then you still got a bench that you can rely on. So it's like you're doing all these sacrifice of all these players.
If I'm giving up these whole bunch of players, I'm not giving up draft picks too.
You don't know what people are. It's a give and take. It's not just you getting all you want. It's also that other team got to want what you want, and it's got to be a good and a fair trade. You're not just gonna
it'll be a fair trade. It'll be a fair trade to them as long as the contracts match up.
Yeah, but if we give up 4 to 5 players who are part of our rotation right now, then
you're not going to have to give up no 4 or 5 players to match up.
We don't have no person that's making the same amount of money that we're giving up as Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris is making almost $40 million. It's going to take about 3 or 4 players to match his salary. So you're saying give up 4 or 5 players who is currently in our rotation, where you can just give up Tobias Harris and get the person who's going to take his spot. I mean, make it make sense. Make it make sense.
How you think it? So what if they trading? Because what's his name getting like $10 million a year, right? Paul Reed.
But they're not going to trade Paul Reed.
How do you know? You said they might want players. So if they looking at Utah wanted Paul Reed, didn't they? Wasn't they offering to pay him that money?
So you're saying that the person you literally just signed to a 3-year deal. None of that. A person you just signed into a 3-year deal, you want to trade him when you got a person with an expiring contract. You want to keep them.
Which one? Okay, so which one of them do you think will be more helpful for us for a championship run?
Paul Reed, because the B made him.
Man, get out of here. Man, get out. Man, you smoking crack. You telling me Paul Reed is more? See, I know you got, and I like Paul Reed too, but you're not going to tell me Paul Reed does more for this team than
trying to hold on to a piece that is going to be gone regardless. At the end of the year, he's leaving. In 4 more months, he won't be here regardless. So you might as well.
None of these dudes will be here in 4 months.
But that's fine though. But you don't got to trade 4 or 5 guys where you could just trade one to get the piece that you need to get us over the top.
So I would rather have a player that's been good his whole career. You say what you want. He's been good his whole career. So if I have a choice of having a good player and then bringing in a player better than him, that makes my starting lineup even better.
And that's all you have is a starting lineup.
Now, how so?
Because you just gave up your bench.
How? Who's your bench that you giving up? So you're telling me if you bring another starter, in,
that's what I'm about to ask you. And since you want to keep,
so you got
Tobias Harris, who are the
you still got Batum. You still got Batum. You still got Anthony Melton. You still got you still got
So you just gave up 2 starters. You just gave up 2 starters.
When has Anthony Melton been starting? You told me you want Oubre to start over Anthony Melton. Now all of a sudden, D'Anthony Melton, he's a starter. Now D'Anthony Melton, he's a starter. But you were saying you wanted him off the bench and start Oubre. So now you want to put him up as a starter.
So right now you just gave up 2 starters for Tobias Harris. You just gave up Batum. You just gave up Anthony Melton. Still don't match Tobias' contracts. Who else you giving up?
How you know? You don't even know what their contracts are.
I do. I'm looking at them right now, and it's not.
Do you know what Covington contract is?
Okay,
Covington got a nice piece of change coming.
So now you got Covington. So you got 3 players. That's in your rotation that you are saying you want to keep.
If I have a choice, if I can make some other players,
you just gotta let them go. You just gotta let them go. It is okay.
I'm fine with that. But see this, and this is where I have an issue with Sixers fans. We get caught up in our emotions. If you really look at it, I hate, and I felt the same way with Ben Simmons. I felt the same way with any other player. I understand if you want a player to play better than what they are. But if they're a quality player for your team and you can make a trade and bring in more quality players to put on top of that, then you make your team a better team. I don't want to take away from my team to bring in another player. That's why I say when I talk about lateral movements and stuff like that, I want to upgrade. I want to add to the talent that we have. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to look and see what Robert Covington getting paid.
Robert Covington making $11 million. So right now,
exactly.
So you and that's fine. You're going to trade Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum. That'll give you $22 million. Marcus Morris. That'll give you 30. That'll give you the salary for Tobias Harris. So you got Marcus Morris, Batum, and Covington off the team. And then
who's to say that they got to be the 3 that you trade?
I'm trying to match up the salary. You told me to match them up. So that's 30. So Tobias make $39 million. Between the 3 of them players, they make $39 million. So that's the salary we give them to keep it Tobias.
Talking about
that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is Tobias Harris is a starter in this league. No matter how much I want to hate on him and this, that, and other, he's a starter in this league. some of the other guys. So you still got Oubre, and you still got Embiid, and you still got Maxey. And if you're bringing in a top tier quality player, you have got you. Never mind the fact that you also got guys like I think Korkmaz, who's a low salary player who somebody might want, and they might feel like Korkmaz to play on their team. Like we got guys on the bench that's getting no minutes that actually could play for somebody.
All right.
Because if you got, first of all, if you got Paul Reed and you got Mo Bamba, both of them are not going to get a whole bunch of minutes when Embiid's playing. And if both of them are playing, Marcus Morris ain't getting no minutes. So we talking about like players that are not going to get any kind of minutes.
All right. Or
you saying he wouldn't start on the Clippers of Denver? Compare Tobias Harris numbers to the Clippers' third and fourth player to what's his name, Aaron Gordon. What's his numbers compared to Gordon's? What's his numbers compared to the other dude with the broke back?
Here's the thing: you're on Tuesday night when we play the Denver Nuggets, you'll get to see who's more valuable. You'll get to see the value.
But my point is, those guys are like the fourth best players on their team.
And Max, and the crazy thing is, Tobias is about the fifth best player on the team.
Well, guess what? You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Because I was told how I'm hyping Tobias defense, but he was playing defense on Sabonis from the jump and had him clamped. How you like that? I hate Tobias Harris. He had Sabonis clamped. A quality big man in the league. Y'all told me Tobias, he put up these fake numbers against all these fake teams. Sacramento been on a roll, and they like the second best team over there. Now what? Aaron Gordon way better than Toby?
Yeah,
he's way better than him. What's Aaron Gordon numbers?
Absolutely.
What's Aaron Gordon numbers? What was his number? And I'm telling you why I'm arguing that point, because I was actually making a point about how good Aaron Gordon was, and then I looked at what his numbers was in Orlando. It wasn't that great.
Aaron Gordon is way better. Just the impact on the game. You always look at numbers. Sometimes you don't even got to look at the numbers. You just look at the height.
How many games do you watch Aaron Gordon play? Did you even watch him play in Orlando? No.
I seen him play the entire playoffs last year.
Stop. See, this is what I'm saying. And this is why I say you guys are disingenuous, because you're saying, I know what he do. I know. Yeah, because we watch players on our team every game. So it's a matter of the grass being greener. And again, I'm not saying Tobias is great. I'm saying add another player. If I can add another player without trading him and keep him as my fourth best player or fifth best player, I'm doing it. Now, if I need to trade him in order to bring in better talent, I'm down to do it.
Listen, if we can get a wing, if we need to trade him to get a nice upgrade in a wing or a small forward or wing position, if we can do that and get rid of him, and we can still keep our bench, that's
Aaron Gordon for his career averages 13 points a game. 13 points, six rebounds, and 2.6 assists. This is what Aaron Gordon averages for a career.
Doesn't matter. He's a key.
He's
a viable player, especially in the playoffs. He does things that you need. That the little things.
He didn't on a stacked team. He was the fourth. He was like the third or fourth best player on the team.
So on a stacked team, he still played. I'd rather have him.
And my point is, if we add more talent with Tobias on here, our team will be stacked too. And that way you don't have to worry about, you'll still have Oubre, you still have B, you still have Maxey, and you'll have whoever you're bringing in that's going to be better than Tobias more than likely. So that's what I'm saying.
You could just, and if it means getting that person, if it means swiping Tobias out, because Tobias has been looking nice. He had 30 points the other game, had another almost 40 points this game. He looks valuable to other organizations, so we can use him as a tool, a trading tool. And I'm all.
And again, my point is, you're making the lateral movement. What player you bring? What player are you trading and bringing Tobias in straight up? And you're giving up a draft pick. So what player are you talking about bringing in, trading Tobias and bringing in?
I don't even know who we can get right now. I'm just saying if it's someone
exactly because you're just talking, you just want to get rid of Tobias.
No. Who do you think is better then? Who do you feel that we can get then? Huh?
All right, so answer. Well, I'm not the one talking about just trading him to trade him.
But I'm just saying, if you feel that we get it like
wait a minute. So wait a minute, because I do want to answer this question. because I hate Tobias Harris's ass. How do you know? Even though, first of all, you talking about trade for Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine has a hefty contract that you still have to pay for a few years. So if it doesn't work out with Zach LaVine, you're stuck with Zach LaVine, and you can't go out and get another free agent.
Well, you said we believe in Nick Nurse as being a good coach. So I'm sure he'll make it work. I mean,
okay, but Zach LaVine might not fit. Zach LaVine might not fit.
Why not? Everybody else that came in has been pretty solid and fitting our style of play. Why wouldn't he?
Chicago winning without Zach LaVine?
It doesn't matter. They still are not a better team. And besides the point, if Zach LaVine came on our team, he's a baller. He has a very good coach that can fit in the system.
I agree. And that's why I'm saying I would add him and keep. And guess what? If I could, I'd trade Melton. I trade Melton, somebody else, and bring in Zach LaVine, and then still have Tobias Harris. Have Zach LaVine as my 2 guard, Maxey as my point, Tobias as my power forward, small forward, and Oubre as the other forward.
Here's the thing.
And then you bring Batum off the bench.
No, because here's the thing.
And Covington off the bench. And Springer off the bench.
You're looking at one move. I'm saying, I'm daring him. He can make 2 moves to make us even better, make us real tight.
How? You do know there's a such thing as chemistry, right?
Okay. That chemistry hasn't won us anything. They all cool.
Hey, X-Man, listen. I said I would take if I could trade him straight up. I do think that Siakam, Bridges, and probably even Laurie are all better than Tobias. But my point is, if I don't have to trade Tobias to get them, because if the other team just wants expiring contracts, and I could give them expiring contracts that equals to that, and get them a draft pick, and I could keep Tobias Harris and get those other players. That's what I'm saying I want to do. I want to keep a Tobias Harris and add somebody like LaVine or Siakam if I could. So that's the point I'm talking about. I'm saying, why not stack talent? See, y'all talk like Tobias is absolute garbage, like he can't give you nothing. And I don't agree with that.
First, you got to get the talent, then you can stack it, and that's how you get rid of Tobias. And just
but you don't. But see, you're talking about getting rid of Tobias again. Tobias Harris does have talent.
Listen, when we go against the real team, he's going to get exposed. But this
wasn't the real team he played tonight. This wasn't the real team.
This team
was this a real team he played tonight?
They're not a contender. They're not a contender.
What?
The Kings are okay. They're not a contender.
What?
They're not a contender. Come on. First of all,
so who's your contenders in the West?
I'm talking about our contenders period, like in the East. I'm giving you Boston. I'm giving you the Bucks. I'm giving you the Knicks.
All right, hey, answer. I hate Tobias Harris since he wants you to answer that so bad. Who was a better player? He said, who was the better defender last playoffs? Tobias or PJ? Matter of fact, everybody in there answer that. Who? He's telling me PJ was this great player for us last year, and he was better than Tobias.
Who said that?
I hate Tobias Harris. I think that's your burner account.
Really? Listen, and then I like OKC in the West. They're a good team.
So you saying OKC is better than Sacramento?
OKC, yeah, absolutely.
What?
Minnesota, I like Minnesota. I like OKC. I like the Clippers.
The Knicks are better than the Kings. What are we talking?
The Knicks are better than the Kings. Have you watched them?
Have you been watching Sacramento?
Sacramento's a good team. But I don't think they're at upper echelon. I don't believe they'll be able to represent the West in the Western Conference Finals right now. Not inside the Garden. I agree with you. Knicks is better than the Kings.
Okay. Knicks getting thumped in the first round. Everybody all hyped on the Knicks.
That trade for OG, that was actually a very good trade.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep, Nuggets, Wolves, OKC. This is what I just put up. I literally just said this. Nuggets, Wolves, OKC, and the Clippers. All are better than the Kings.
Okay. We're going to see.
No shade at Tobias.
I hate Tobias Harris. Yes, Tobias. So Tobias wasn't playing. I'm not saying he's I'm not saying that he's what's his name? Draymond Green or nothing. But PJ Tucker is cheeks. PJ is trash. I don't care what you say. PJ is the main reason we lost last year. He was a wasted roster spot and a wasted starting spot. And I wanted him to come in here. PJ was trash. He's averaging 2 points a game in 20 minutes. And the Clippers ain't start winning until they benched him. And he was crying about getting benched.
He was.
PJ's trash.
Sorry,
yeah, he's averaging 2 points a game in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Not a good look.
Come on, don't tell me.
But do you see how the Clippers are when you got solid players at so many positions that you really can't double nobody? Can't double Kawhi because you got Paul George right there.
That's what I want for the Sixers.
And that's what you'll get with the Sixers by getting an elite player in here next to Embiid and Maxey.
But if I'm telling you, if you can get the elite player and keep Tobias Harris, then I want to do that. You just want to get rid of Tobias because you want to get rid of Tobias.
No, I want to get rid of Tobias because he don't show up in the playoffs.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about that because you're getting an elite player, so it don't matter.
No, but then if I don't have to worry about it, then why is he still my team then? I don't understand. You want to keep him, but he's not going to be dependable in the playoffs. I'd rather get rid of him. So you get rid of him, so instead you're going to give his minutes to Morris, or you're going to give his minutes to Covington, or you're going to give his minutes to Mo Bamba or Paul Reed. None of those players are better than him. Kelly Oubre is. I'll give it to him.
But you don't got to get rid of him and Oubre playing side by side.
But I can get rid of him, and then I'll still.
But why? If you can have him, Oubre, and bring in another star to go with Maxey and B, what are we talking about?
Because in the playoffs,
what are we talking about, bro?
In the playoffs, you're going to have your ball dominant players, which is going to be Embiid and Maxey. They're going to be doing the dribbling or holding the ball and everything. I'm going to need people more so that's going to be knockdown shooters, people that can, create their own shot. And Tobias really can't do that. Tobias get lost in the playoffs. He become one-dimensional. You can't really depend on him. And he get locked down. God forbid we play Boston.
I mean, I do know when we played Atlanta, when Ben Simmons, your boy, choked out, Tobias actually had some good games.
Nah, it's not nothing to help us win.
Oh, he would have if your point guard ain't have a mental collapse.
Again, not enough for us to make us win. Tobias, he didn't do nothing for us. Tobias has 5 years to put us over the top. So far, nothing.
I'm not asking for Tobias to put us over the top. What I'm saying is bring in other talent, and now you move Tobias down the line, whereas though you have a player of his skill set where instead of counting on him to be your third or second best player, now he's your fourth best player or fifth best player if Oubre is balling.
But here's the thing. We never asked Tobias to be our third or fourth or second best player. We never did that.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
No, we have. No, come on. Last year, he was supposed to be our fourth best player because you had Harden, Embiid, and Maxey, your 1, 2, and 3. He's supposed to be our fourth best player.
And so the year before that, who was it?
It was Harden, Embiid, Joel.
No. The year that we played Atlanta, what was the pecking order on that team?
It was Embiid, Ben, Maxey, and then Tobias.
No, Maxey was a rookie. I mean, Maxey was not up. See, that's what I'm talking about. You're being disingenuous.
He was not.
Kobe was the third best player on that team. And that's what I'm saying. You bring in other talent and you move them down.
He has never been. Then when we had Jimmy Butler, it was Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Ben, and Tobias. And then JJ.
No. Ben was like the worst of the starters. Remember when Ben, because Jimmy was bringing the ball up. Ben couldn't shoot. He wasn't playing point.
JJ Redick and Ben Simmons and Embiid. So we still had 5. He's always been the 4th or 5th best player on the team.
Thank you, Andrew Mines. Thank you for the super chat. And he also says, if you can get better and keep Toby, that's a no-brainer. Murray, Bridges, or Levine. And I agree. If I have to trade Tobias to bring in a player like Bridges, if the Nets is even willing to trade that, I'm going to do it. But if you're telling me I can trade some of these other role players and bring in that caliber of player and keep Tobias Harris, that's what I'm going to do. And then you let Tobias walk at the end of the season. Clear up cap space. What's the point of what?
I just heard you say I'm proving my point, so I'm gonna repeat it. Says he said when you're kind of proving till the point, Tobias has been the third best player, the fourth best player, and he still hasn't been effective. That's what I'm saying. He's always been the fourth best player. You're trying to say if he's the fourth best player, he's always been the fourth best player.
He has not always been the fourth best player. I just told you when we went against Atlanta, he wasn't the fourth best player. He wasn't the fourth best player.
When we had Jimmy Butler, was he what was he?
Yeah, that year with Jimmy, yes.
He was the fourth, fifth best player.
He was when we was because Ben Simmons down the stretch of the game. Ben Simmons was not playing point guard. No, Ben Simmons was basically just standing around in the fourth quarter because Jimmy was handling the and what was Tobias averaging that series? Wait, you said Ben was averaging 17 points when?
16.9 points a game he averaged. In that season, in that series, there was 18, and then B averaged 27 points.
And Tobias was averaging 17 and 9.
Okay.
So how was Ben Simmons? How was Ben Simmons better when Ben Simmons wasn't even handling? He's your point. Ben Simmons was your point guard. Ben Simmons was your point guard, but Jimmy Butler was the one handling the ball down the stretch. Simmons was just on the court. Yeah, but he could have did it all game. But because we had Ben, who was our guy we was playing big money to, they was making that was one of the reasons why.
You're telling me you're asking Tobias Harris to stay on the team to be our fourth and fifth best player, which he's been the last 5 years. The fourth and fifth best player on the team hasn't gotten over the hump. So I'm saying is switch him out for another person that maybe can be a better fourth or fifth best.
But if you don't have to switch him out for the better person, you just bring the better person in. How about that?
Because it's like
so you're telling me you would rather have Marcus Morris, Batum, or Covington and all these dudes instead of Tobias Harris.
Absolutely. If you're telling me,
and that's where you're showing your lack of brains.
So you say, but Batum,
you ain't even like Covington when he was here. You hated Covington because he didn't dunk and he didn't. Oh my God, we got.
I'd rather have Batum, Covington, Marcus Morris over Tobias Harris. If you can tell me I got those three versus Tobias, and then I can get an upgrade with Tobias money, I'm taking it every time. I'm taking it.
And you're telling me if I could trade those three and get an upgrade and keep Tobias, I'm taking that.
Okay. That's what we see a little differently.
Exactly. And Pooh Mines, like he said, he wants Tobias going to, and I get it. Listen, when I'm saying all this, I understand why people feel how they feel about Tobias because of the big money and everything else. But what I'm saying is, no, X-Man, Tobias doesn't have more trade value than the other guys because they all have. He does not because they all have expiring contracts. And anybody that's making that trade for them is just clearing up cap space. They don't care about the player. They're not making that trade because they want Tobias. They're not making that trade because they want Morris. They're making that trade to clear up cap space and to get a draft pick.
But here's the thing. Let's say you may not be trading with a person who wants who's trying to get rid of expiring contract. You may be trading with another championship contender, and they may feel very necessary that Tobias is that guy for them. They may not realize how trash he is. They be like, "Yo, Tobias is good. He'll fit perfectly with our squad." We got to.
So you're telling me Tobias is trash, but somebody else is going to be willing to trade a contender is going to be willing to trade a player that's working for them for Tobias.
Do you feel that Tobias is trash?
No, I don't feel he's trash.
Exactly.
No.
So, exactly. And because you don't feel it, that general manager may feel the same way you feel. I think we could use Tobias Harris. And so we trade them their semi-star or their decent role player for Tobias.
All that being said, Tobias Harris Tobias Harris is averaging 17.4 points a game, shooting 51%, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists in 33.9 minutes. But he's trash.
It don't matter what Tobias do in the regular
Exactly,
season.
because you have hatred for
No,
him. I
because
get it.
I seen him for the last 5 years in the playoffs, and I know how it ends. He doesn't lift you. He doesn't give you that extra. He doesn't win a game. What playoff game?
That's why you're bringing in another player, and Maxey is developed into a future star, if not a star already. You have two stars. You love
telling me
Oubre.
about other people. You telling me about other people. What will Tobias Harris do for us in the playoffs? What will he do for us? So why you hold on to somebody that can't help you?
You talking about holding on to Covington? You talking about holding on to Morris? And you talking about holding on to all these other bum dudes?
They never was in the playoffs for us. I've seen Marcus Morris kill us in the playoffs. I've seen him in Boston destroy us.
Stop. What destroy us? What was he averaging?
I mean, so I'm just gonna throw up the number. Like,
exactly. Listen. I get the vitriol that people have for Tobias Harris because we paid him so much money. No, he's not. Tim is not cooking. You know what I'm saying? No, he's not. He's not.
I'm telling you.
All right. Everyone else in here, who do y'all think is making the more logical sense? That me personally, I would prefer to trade some of these other role players, some of which get no time when our regular starters are here, and keep Tobias Harris and bring in better talent to make us deeper. Or you telling me trade Tobias, so now we bring in the other talent that's going to have Tobias minutes, and now instead we're going to be giving more minutes to Marcus Morris and more minutes to Batum and more minutes to Covington.
You've never seen Tobias Harris. I mean, you never seen any of them players.
Hey, tell you the real clown. How you gonna go in and comment, Tim? Definitely.
You asked the question.
Inside the guard, shut up, got this guy routed. Go bow down to the Bucks. Because the Bucks said, shut up and go back to Boston. How about that?
I'm telling you. We already seen it's not like we haven't seen Tobias 5 years in a row in the playoffs. And I can't name one game where I can say he lifted us. He won that series for us. It was because of Tobias.
You said you can't say one game. You said you can't say one game that he won that series. So what series did Aaron Gordon win?
I mean, he was a key factor. I can silly say
what series did Aaron Gordon? Okay, so what series did Aaron Gordon win? Because you said Tobias Harris hasn't won any series. Because without Joker, Aaron Gordon ain't sniffing the finals. Because he stunk over there. I ain't gonna say he stunk, but he was average over there in Orlando.
Mm-hmm. However,
yes, Aaron Gordon in the finals. Because of Joker. Because Joker was dominant. That's why Aaron Gordon got.
Is Joel a dominant player? Is Joel
well, that's the big problem. Because
that's the big problem. Is Joel good?
He got to be dominant in the playoffs.
Okay, is he dominant? Is he good? So that's
in the playoffs, he wasn't last year in the playoffs in that round. No, he wasn't.
Tobias has a really good opportunity for the last 5 years to play alongside with Joel Embiid and be dominant. But he couldn't even be dominant playing against a star in the league. Couldn't even do it. So you're saying that forget about year 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This 6th year in this system, he's going to be totally different. He's going to be the X factor.
Tim. Wait a minute. What you say? His 6 year what?
6 year with the Sixers.
You said in the system. With the Sixers.
No, with the Sixers.
So it don't make a difference that we got a different coach in a different system? That don't make a difference?
This is the third coach that he's on.
So this coach don't make a difference?
We don't know yet. You're assuming that we get, the record that we have today versus the record we had last year. We're off by one game. We got one more victory at this point in the season from last year. So everybody can say, "Oh, it's so much different." It's really one game.
Hey, inside the garden, I agree with you. That Jimmy Butler, that's why I hated Brett Brown. That is when I really was done with Brett Brown, because that Jimmy Butler and Embiid squad. That team, to me, that was a finals team.
It was.
And I said that all up and down. That was a finals team. And I put that on Brett. I agree. I agree. That was Brett. So I mean, like I said, I get why people feel how they feel about Tobias because of the money he get, and people that try to say like that doesn't matter, that does matter because that's why y'all hate Tobias. Because guess what? Tobias Harris puts up better numbers than Oubre, and you love Oubre, but Oubre ain't getting that money Tobias getting.
But Oubre hurt right now. I could tell he was feeling a little. He looked like he was.
That's another. Tobias ain't never hurt. Tobias is out there all the time.
I know that's the problem. He's never.
That's
hurt.
The problem. Okay.
He's always.
That's the problem. Okay.
I'll be waiting to sit out like just chill. Nope. I'm good.
See, listen, this is all I'm talking about, right? So we get in here like, talking about, DeAnthony Melton stinks. DeAnthony Melton stinks. Like, such and such stinks. This guy stinks. Y'all always talking about somebody stink. But if you can trade some of these guys that we're saying stink, and because, like I said, no matter what y'all say, Tobias Harris does put up numbers. He does. Other teams do have to respect his offense for the most part. They do. And he plays solid defense. And he's a leader on the team that the other players respect. Kind of sort of like how Jalen Hurts is trash right now, but the other players respect him. You know what I'm saying? They respect him. So that means something for chemistry. So if you're telling me I can bring in additional talent that's better than Oubre and better than Toby, and so they're automatically going to be the third best player on the team, and now I got Oubre and Toby as my fourth and fifth best player, I'm taking that. Thank you, relabeled. That's all I'm saying, bro. I'm just saying you put as much talent on there, and I'm not saying Tobias Harris should be an all-star. I thought it was a joke that they was sending me these emails talking about vote for him along with Bede and Maxey. No, Tobias doesn't belong on that list. But that being said, you're not telling me Tobias Harris as your fourth or fifth best player isn't a good thing to have if you're bringing in another star.
First of all, I'm looking at Boston Celtics right now. Boston Celtics, they're at top 5. I'm looking at Tatum. He's not better than Tatum, Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown.
What does Drew Holiday do?
Or Derek White.
What's Drew Holiday and Derek White doing?
They are. First of all, they both.
Is Oubre better than any of them players?
No, I'm asking you about Tobias Harris. We're talking about specifically for Tobias Harris. If don't fit 5 players, if you could tell me I could trade any of them for Tobias Harris, I'm going to do it every time. They got 5 players that are better than that.
I don't know about Drew. I ain't trading. I don't know if I'm trading Drew.
What?
I don't want a Drew Holiday and Tyrese Maxey backcourt. No.
Why not? That would be that would be perfect.
Because Drew, you talking about somebody that don't show up in the playoffs sometimes. Look at Drew. Look at Drew Holiday.
Oh my God, Drew Holiday got an NBA title.
Yeah, because Phoenix coach dropped the ball, and because Giannis was scoring 50 points a game. It wasn't like Drew Holiday was out there. Giannis was scoring like 50 points a game on them dudes. That's why they won. Middleton was going off. You had Giannis and Middleton going crazy.
So as far as just the players, out of them 5, you saying that Tobias Harris is better than those starting 5? You know Tatum, he's not better than Tatum.
No, he's definitely not better than their top 3. I don't know. I don't even the dude, Derek, whatever, the dude that finally shaved his goofy hairline off. Well, he's that great.
I take him definitely. I take him over.
Of course, because you got, and you probably didn't even never watched him playing that many games.
Derek White can ball. Derek White is a great. He's a great shooter, a good defender, and Drew Holiday is a very good defender, a lockdown defender. And I'm taking off that starting 5. I'm taking. Now let's go to Milwaukee. Now I'm looking at the Milwaukee Bucks. You got Dame Lillard, Giannis.
You know why? You know why I ain't got to worry about that? Because ain't nobody on Boston better than Bede, and Maxey is just as good as anybody on that team. And Maxey,
you're telling me
Maxey is just
no, because you specifically said the 4th or 5th best player option. That's Tobias.
And yes, if I got him as he is just as good as Drew Holiday. Yes,
and everybody gonna say that's a
okay. You overhyped Drew Holiday, honestly.
Drew Holiday is a very, very good. He's a top-notch defender.
I didn't say Maxey was
Good.
as good as Tatum. I said everybody except for Tatum on that team, Maxey could be just as good.
At some point, he can
I
guard
didn't
all
say
four.
Tatum.
He could guard 4 positions right now.
Who?
Drew Holiday, and be very good at it.
Okay.
All right. So Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, Middleton, Lopez, Lillard, Bobby Portis.
Lopez is trash this year. Bobby Portis overhyped.
If I had a chance between Lopez, I'm still taking him. He's not better. He's just not.
Oh my God. Drew Holiday against Milwaukee, 2 for 9. Against Minnesota, 5 for 15.
All right. So okay.
Drew Holiday is averaging 12.6 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Tell me how great.
I'm taking him every time.
I'm sure you will, because that's who you want.
Every time.
I mean, Tatum's still better than I think Tatum's still better than Maxey though. So, but I mean, I understand. All I'm saying is, if you tell me, see, you making an argument of him against other players on other teams. My argument is, if I can have Tobias Harris instead of having Covington, who hasn't even played in like a month. Or so if I'm telling you, I could trade Covington or Paul Reed or somebody else that ain't getting them in Cork Moss and some of these other dudes and a couple and a draft pick and bring in a star player. Why wouldn't I do that and keep Tobias Harris on my team? That's ludicrous to me.
In that role as the 4th best player, he doesn't do anything for us.
So if you trade him, who's your 4th? So if you trade him, who's playing your 4th best player?
He disappears. He disappears.
So if you trade him,
here's the thing: Tobias is most valuable for us. Like tonight, like tonight, when he was like the number 1, number 2 option, he did his.
Tobias played the best defense on Tatum than any other Sixer in the playoffs.
Tobias will never be the number 1 option on our squad. So if he's not the number 1 option, then we need somebody in the number 4 role that can have an impact on the game. He doesn't have an impact on the role at the 4th.
So who's the person that you're putting in that spot?
Well, it's going to be Maxey and B, and the new person that's coming in. And then you got Kelly Oubre can be the number 4.
You telling me Kelly Oubre? So Kelly Oubre,
yes,
is playing better than Toby this year.
I'd rather have Kelly Oubre.
Is Kelly Oubre playing better than Toby this year?
He was until he got hurt.
He was. He averaged like 13 points a game.
He got hurt.
Hey, Ron, listen. I'm trolling. I understand why people. Feel how they feel about Tobias, and I think it's mostly because of the money. But like Tim was sitting there telling me, Toby can't give you 30 points in the game if your star is not in there. What do you do tonight? I think he's too passive. And then I was told, oh, he can't do it against a good team. He did it against a good team tonight.
Yep. Let's not forget Tobias came up short against Boston when Maxey and B were out.
Okay, well, Maxey was playing. What Maxey do against Boston?
See, we talking about Tobias.
No, but if you're because you're talking about a great team. Maxey's supposed to be our number 2. What did Bean do? Bean has had games where Boston is a great defensive team.
Right.
All I'm saying is, and Ron, that's my problem with Tobias is the lack of consistency. I don't think that he has enough dog in him. But my thing is, if you're telling me, Tim is telling me he would rather have Batum, who's going back and forth, East, West Coast, whatever he's doing with his wife. He's not even available every game. You're talking about Covington, who's old and stay missing games. You're talking about all these other guys that you would rather be on here. To me, you're saying you just want to. People are saying they want to get rid of Tobias just because they want to get rid of Tobias because they're tired of him. And my point is, if you're bringing more talent in, Tobias, it lessens the effect of a Tobias, and he becomes more valuable to your team as the 4th or 5th best player on your team. Yeah, kick yourself out, Tim. I don't know what happened to Tim. Hey, listen, I'm not. I do think Tatum is a little overrated, but I'm not going to hate on Boston. Got a nice squad, bro.
Sharon Cook said, "Congratulations, Sixers. Keep working hard. Keep ball rolling 1-1-1." That's what's up. We're gonna end this at least on a positive note. We good game. I mean, we dominated the Sacramento wire to wire victory. I mean, I gotta give a shout out. I mean, I know the Kings been on a roll. I think they said this 3 of the 5th. This is the 3rd game of 5 games on this East Coast road swing. But we did our thing. Are you concerned about Joel? I mean, he's been missing with his knee. Are you concerned?
No.
Now, do you think he's going to play against Denver this coming week?
I don't care if he does. If he's not ready to play, don't play. I don't care about none of the regular season stuff. As long as he's healthy, when he does come back, I don't feel like he got to prove nothing against Joker. We've seen when he play against Joker and he's healthy and Joker's healthy, Joker can't hold his jock strap.
Now we do got a back-to-back. I hate back-to-backs because we play Monday.
Yeah, they doing too many of them this year.
We played Monday, then I think the very next night we got to play Denver. And you saw yesterday when the Boston Celtics played the Bucks off a back-to-back, they got smoked. So I'd rather for this to be like 2 good teams battling like with rest. And I just want to see a really good game. I just want to see a good game. So I wouldn't be opposed to them keeping Joel out on Monday and he coming back for the Denver game. Because I want to see that Joker matchup though. I do.
Yeah, I could care less about it. If I gotta see it, let me see it in the finals.
Well, obviously that's the one that you want.
I really don't care about none of the regular season. I just wanted them to get the wins. I don't care about the matchup with the marquee matchup, Joker and Embiid and Giannis. I don't care about none of that. I just want a healthy team in the playoffs, line it up and see what we got. I don't want no excuses for Joel being injured. I'm glad, if anything, people concerned about Joel, but see, people like Tim, when Joel last year, when he was playing through injuries and stuff, he's selfish. He just want to pad his stats. He worried about MVP. Now Joel, like, my knee not always ready. I'm going to fall back. I'm going to get myself. Are we concerned about Joel? This is what we wanted him to do, right? Rest and be healthy, right?
No, the concern was, is he going to be okay? Not that he should be playing. I want him to be healthy. I'm just saying, are you concerned that is he going to be able to recover? Like, I want him to be
Why
okay.
not? Doesn't he always recover from a knee injury?
I mean, he's older, and we just don't. I don't
man
know.
Is what, 29? He's 29. What
I don't know the severity of this injury though. You don't. No one knows the severity of this knee injury. All right.
Hey, inside the garden. Ho. Let's not make it like now. The last part of Game 6 and Game 7, Tatum hooped, but let's not act like Tatum wasn't throwing cinder blocks up a whole lot in that series. Ain't nobody scared. Boston scared. He said Boston scared of Jimmy. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's why we gonna line it up and we gonna see.
We'll see.
Tatum had more than one bad game.
But it don't matter. He came through that Game 6 and Game 7.
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, in Game 6 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, and you know what ended up happening at the end of Game 6? They ran a whole bunch of picks to get Tobias off of him because Tobias was actually playing great defense on him in the first 3 quarters. So they started running picks to get Maxey matched up on him, and he started abusing Maxey.
So he should have.
That's what happened in Game. That's what happened in Game 6.
Why ain't fight off the screen so he can
So now fight off the screen. So he's supposed to lock in on Tatum, fight through all these screens, stay on Tatum and everything else. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
We got Monday. We've been doing back-to-backs. We got a Sixers game in the afternoon, and then we come back on later on, and we're gonna watch the Eagles. Hopefully, they beat the Buccaneers on the road.
Tobias was not the one guarding Tatum in the fourth quarter. They specifically ran screens and ran everything else to line up Maxey against him and to take advantage of that height advantage. Go look at that fourth quarter again and look and see who Tatum was shooting them jump shots over.
So the same thing that we did against the Kings today.
Oh, stop. What'd you say?
Same thing we did today.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Listen, hey Tim, you know what? That's what good coaches do. But Doc ain't know how to do that.
No, Doc was doing that. We were just missing everything. It just
No,
didn't
Doc
work out.
wasn't doing. Doc
We did.
wasn't. No,
All right. Anyway, y'all.
I was like, don't pass it. Doc said, don't pass it to Embiid for the final 5 minutes of the game, even though he got 26 in the fourth quarter. Don't give him the ball no more.
Well, we all know that's not true. But y'all don't forget the light.
And then he cussed Harden out for shooting shots, and Harden said, "I'm out."
Harden was, Harden bricked those 2 games. Don't know. Anyway, hit the
you the same
notification
person
bell,
that said
y'all.
when you went back and looked at the thing, it was a whole lot of calls that they missed for Harden in that game 6.
Oh yeah, the rest was cheating. That's why I'm glad we got him. We needed to get him off the squad because he just got bad juju with the NBA referees, so we could win with him regardless.
Yeah.
Well, hit that notification.
No, but it was
bell,
a good
y'all.
one tonight. I don't expect this from Tobias. I'm not. Just for the record, I'm not crazy in thinking you're gonna get this from Toby on a regular basis, and that's the problem with Tobias.
Or ever again.